Clinton Global Initiative's mission is to encourage leaders from different sectors and different countries to work together to solve global problems. What sort of change can happen by gathering the world policymakers, business leaders and leaders of non-profit organizations together?
Well, that's exactly the question that President Clinton asked 5 years ago when he started the Clinton Global Initiative, or CGI as we call it. He wanted to bring together civil society, government, and the private sector, and so he invited to a meeting 5 years ago the chief executives of the world's major corporations, heads of state, current and former, as well as heads of foundations, philanthropists, athletes, celebrities who use their celebrity for good causes. And he brought them together, some of the most influential people in the world, and asked them to take action against the great global challenges that he believed were the most important issues that needed to be addressed. They included education, climate change, poverty alleviation, and global health. Well, now that we've been at this for 5 years, our members have made 1,700 commitments to take action against those areas. They're valued in excess of $57 billion, and they're currently operating in 170 countries, positively impacting 220 million people.
What obstacles do you see to the kind of change that the CGI envisions?
Well, there are really two obstacles that our members have experienced. One is they don't quite know what works best, what are the best practices, the best way of accomplishing a particular project. And so one thing that we can help them with, because we have 1,700 commitments that are operating, and we ask our members to give us progress reports, so we know what works well and what doesn't work so well, so we can help them in terms of shaping their commitments. And then the second thing is many of our members have great ideas but don't have the resources to implement those. So we bring people together who have ideas with people who have resources, and we try to overcome the obstacle of lack of resources.
How can having new members from new regions help overcome these obstacles and maybe give extra value to a CGI mission?
What typically happens is we have quite a number of new members come in from different parts of the world each annual meeting, and they can expand geographically some of the work that our existing members may be doing. So if there's a project ongoing in Africa and we have new members in Asia, we can expand the scope of that work by having the new Asian members execute on the same kind of project that we know is successful in Africa.
Have you had until now a huge footprint on Balkan region?
We have not, unfortunately. We would very much like to expand our footprint in the Balkan region. We historically have had largely our footprint in terms of membership in Europe and in North America. Next would be Asia, Latin America, and Africa. In terms of where the work is actually accomplished, though, I would say Asia, Latin America, and Africa are the target geographies for where the work takes place. But in terms of our members, we would love to have more from the Balkans.
When corporations and business leaders give back to society, what is the benefit for the communities where they are located? For example, as Atlas Group is coming from Montenegro, Serbia, covering Eastern Europe.
Well, let me give you an example of the way a community could be positively impacted by the work of some of our corporate members. A number of our corporate members are focused on HIV and AIDS as the target of their projects. They want to educate their employees on prevention and protection, and even to the extent that some of the employees actually have HIV or AIDS, how they can live with it and still work productively. And so they've created educational programs. Standard Chartered Bank is one, Hindustan Construction Company is another, Levi is another, the Dutch company TNT. They've all focused on HIV/AIDS. And what happens is these educational programs spill over not just from the employee or to the employee, but into the employees' families, their neighbors, the children, and so the education goes way beyond the target audience. In fact, the Standard & Chartered commitment to educate its employees has now extended into more than 1 million people by this one company's commitment.